If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.
I had a guest once who, same thing, my Netflix special, my new Netflix special, my next Netflix special, my first Netflix special, my third Netflix special, my upcoming Netflix special, like it was so gross. And I mean, I shouldn't say this but we edited, I was so annoyed, we edited out every single mention. And so the total mentions of Netflix specials in that episode is 0.
You probably did them a favor.
Because I took them all out. But it was gross. He wasn't showing up to give, he was showing up to take. And the conversation, he never engaged with me. He had an agenda, and I was simply some platform. The thing that I like about the podcast, and you have guests that you like more than others, not because they're nice people. It's because you realize that you're having a nice conversation, or you realize they have an agenda. Agenda is a taking mentality. So going back to techniques that I've learned, like even when I talk about my work, I'm talking about it in a way that I've discovered something, or I'm on a journey of something, and I really want people to come on the journey with me. So let me tell you what I'm learning, as opposed to look how smart I am, look at the stuff that you should buy my book, and
What is that at the core of a human, though, that appreciates someone that walks up on that stage or is in that presentation room doing the pitch, when they can just feel in their bones that this person came to give versus take? What is it at like the human level?
Oh, it's super simple, right? Because we're highly attuned social animals. Our survival depends on our ability to trust each other, right? Think about where we came from. We're tribal animals that if I fell asleep at night, I need you to watch for danger, and I need to do the same for you. So we're very, very good at assessing, are you looking out for me, or are you looking out for you? And so it's deep-seated into our caveman brain that if I sense that you're a taker, I'm not sure I want to fall asleep at night. So where if I sense that you have a giver's heart, like, yeah, I'll fall asleep at night and I'll let you watch for saber-tooth tigers, yeah. So we're very, very attuned. We can be tricked. We can absolutely be tricked. But for the most part, we're pretty good at assessing. We're pretty good at being attuned to when someone's a giver or a taker. But like I said, I am sympathetic. I'm not judgy, because I know some people, it's born out of insecurity or incredibly bad advice that they're given by their publishers, or, to push, which is the wrong advice. Just tell the story. Just tell the story.
Born out of insecurity. It's funny, I was watching a conversation with you this morning, someone you spoke to, and you were asking them about they asked you how they find their why.
Yeah.
And you were basically coaching them through that exercise. And one of the, you asked them about an early memory in their childhood, or that they can remember from their career. And you were using that as a way to kind of track their why. And the first answer they gave you was actually just about validation. Yeah. It was about their school teacher saying they couldn't do something, and then the moment they proved they could. Yeah. And as I was listening to that, I thought, God, that's not a why, that's insecurity. And so many of us, probably including me, we've confused them. Sometimes validation can feel like purpose.
Oh, that's an interesting.
I was watching the conversation, going, "Oh my God!" Because the person you're speaking to, I know them.
Yeah,
and I know
I know
how
who I think I know.
They're very, very complicated. Very, very. They've said it publicly. They're very insecure.
I know who we're talking about. Yeah.
His response was all about, "I proved my teacher wrong, and I was stood there, having this great career moment, and look at me, I finally done it."
Yeah.
And as I was watching, I was like, "That's not purpose. That's insecurity." And it's even for me in my life, I think I confuse, if you look at the first page of my diary when I'm 18, it says 4 goals before I'm 25. Number 1, 6-pack. Number 2, girlfriend. Number 3, Range Rover Sport. Number 4, millionaire before I'm 25. That wasn't purpose. This was all the things that made me feel insecure.
I think people confuse goals and purpose.
But these were all 4 things made me feel insecure when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Never had a girlfriend. Skinny, smallest kid of 4. No money in our household. And never could drive, youngest in the year, didn't have money. So this was a list of my insecurities in reverse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I thought they were my goal missions in life.
But I think that's normal. I think we're all a jumble of, who is it who said it? It was really nice, which is, we're all seeking validation from others, and yet I've forgotten who said it, it was brilliant, but we're all seeking validation from others and hoping people like us, and yet if we can just remember to validate somebody else, you're ahead of the game. You know, we're all worried about what people think about us and whether I made the wrong joke or whether I said the wrong thing. And the reality is nobody's thinking about you. You know, they're thinking about themselves. And if you can just validate other people, and again, this goes to the skill of service, you know, which is you have to have a friend, you have to learn to be a friend. The one thing that I've learned over the course of a career, and I'm now in middle age, is the people in my life matter more than I thought they did. The friends in my life matter more than I thought they did. Learning to be a human being matters more than I thought it did. Being smart, being successful, having the six-pack, having the Range Rover, any of those things is fun, but the people with whom I share those things matters more. Like going to the gym with someone matters more than the six-pack. Going on the adventure with someone in the Range Rover matters more than the Range Rover. Who I get to share money with and spend money on and give money away to matters more than the money I make. What I do with recognition and how I use it to make other people feel seen or heard matters more than how many people see or hear me. And I think that's the single most important lesson I've learned in a career.
I think that answers the question about the difference between insecurity and purpose, because insecurity is about me and purpose becomes who can I give this, you know, what
who
service
can I share it to?
Exactly.
Because none of those things are fun unless I get, like, and I have some friends who are insanely generous. And when I say insanely generous, you just realize the joy that they get from sharing whatever they've accomplished with. And by the way, I'm not just talking about financial success. Like a friend who's an incredible artist and loves to share her art, you know? And if you're one of her friends, you will get one of her pieces of art.
This kind of, I want to go back to the public speaking advice because I really want to get that from you. But this kind of made me think about corporations and business leaders and how they can introduce service into their companies as a way to create better businesses.
Well, a lot of companies have misunderstood what service means. They think service is the company gives money to charity, or we have a giving day where we all go take a day off work and work for Habitat for Humanity or something like that. We all, you know, like the company sponsors a fun run and, you know, a run that raises money for charity or something. And we give our people, you know, a day off to go do the run and we all volunteer. Like those things are good. That's charitable giving and you should do that. But that's not purpose. That's just do that anyway. That's just giving, right? Real purpose, real service is, and we've talked about this a little bit before, which is in a day and age where coming to work or staying home has controversy and mental fitness issues attached, how do I help redesign work so that the people I go to work with feel safe, heard, seen when they come to work every day? Like, what can I do at the office to make somebody else feel seen and heard and validated, to protect somebody else's mental fitness?